In today's media, we've seen former Secretary of State and National Security Advisor Condoleezza Rice in press conferences, Michelle Obama, attorney and the first African-American First Lady, Stacey Abrams, the first Black woman to be major party gubernatorial nominee in the United States and the first Black woman to deliver a rebuttal to the State of the Union address. This week, Kamala Harris was announced Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden's vice presidential pick. The choice has garnered mixed responses, even between Democrats, but one topic has rounded its way through news cycles once again: Black women in prominent political roles. News outlets were quick to compare Harris, a woman of color, to Sarah Palin, who in 2008 was added to former Senator John McCain's ticket for the Republican vice presidential pick. But what about other Black women? Harris isn't the first Black woman to make headlines in American politics. Organizations from the start of the American Civil War in the mid-1800s have had Black women at the forefront of public affairs. Sojourner Truth, born into slavery in 1797, escaped with her children and was the first Black woman to sue a white man, and win. She came to be known as a historic figure in the fight for abolitionism and women's rights when she gave the speech, "Ain't I a Woman?" in 1851, which echoed the sentiment, "I am a Black woman, and underneath it all, I am human too." And when the United States Senate was first created in 1789, it wouldn't be for another 204 years that Carol Moseley Braun would make history as the first Black woman to be elected into the Senate in 1993. She was the first Black senator from a Democratic party and the first female senator from Illinois. As of today, there have been 57 women to be elected into the United States Senate since its inception. Currently, Black women are one of the most underrepresented groups in the Senate. Out of the 10 Black elected officials, only 2 Black women have served in the Senate. One was Carol Braun, and the other was Kamala Harris. But not all Black people are Democrats. Charlene Mitchell, in 1968, was the first Black woman to run for president on a third-party ticket. She ran as a communist. Mitchell was a member of the Communist Party USA because during the 60s, its emphasis was on racial and gender equality during Jim Crow. As a Black woman and communist in the 60s, where many states still didn't allow communists on the ballot, her run didn't give her much traction, and she garnered only 1,075 votes. But 20 years later, Lenora Fulani, in 1988, became the first woman and the first African American to gain ballot access in all 50 states. She received more votes for president in a U.S. general election than any other woman until Jill Stein of the Green Party in 2012. Shirley Chisholm was the first Black woman elected to the United States Congress, who represented New York's 12th congressional district for 7 terms. In 1972, she became the first Black person for a major party's nomination and the first woman to run for president as a Democrat. And Mary McLeod Bethune, who was affectionately named the acknowledged First Lady of Negro America, would go on to found the National Council of Negro Women in 1935, which today is located on 633 Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C. The same street the White House is located on, and could house Kamala Harris as the first elected woman and person of color vice president in November 2020. Thank you for watching this video essay. My name is Natalie Sole, and you can find me at the social media links listed on the screen or in the description box below. And check out my podcast, Dear Teenage Me, available on all streaming platforms, where I interview guests and reflect on what we would tell our younger selves with the knowledge we have now.